In today's video, I'll be going over 10 expensive LEGO Star Wars Jedi minifigures that you guys may own. Let's talk about it. So yes, welcome back everyone to another LEGO Star Wars video. In today's video, in honor of Tales of the Jedi coming out tonight, I wanted to take a look at 10 expensive LEGO Star Wars Jedi minifigures that you may own, and basically go over their prices in new and used condition, which I want to heavily disclaim right here. All the prices in this video will be based off of bricklink.com and the USA market. I personally live in the USA, same with a lot of my demographics, so I like to just base it off of the USA bricklink market to kind of just keep it all coherent and make all my videos consistent. So without further ado, guys, let's get into number 10. Alright guys, starting off with number 10 in no particular order, we have Shock T right here. She came out in the 2011 T6 Jedi Shuttle, and she's going for about $70 used right now and about $90 new. So it's the only time we've ever had a Shock T minifigure ever made in LEGO, and it's definitely looking pretty good. You know, for being over 10 years old, I definitely got to give LEGO a lot of credit. Back in this kind of early 2010 stage, LEGO was really coming out with a lot of really good minifigures. The only thing I kind of feel like a lot of these figures were lacking were maybe some leg printing and possibly some arm printing. You know, again, I think arm printing is a lot less needed than, say, leg printing, since, leg printing, you can really see it, head on. Arm printing, you kind of have to, turn the minifigure, look at the arms, and it's like realistically, sleeves on minifigures, say if you're wearing a Jedi robe or just anything like that, a lot of times it's, really not as important to really have details like that. But, on legs, it's a lot easier to kind of see robe pattern, which they definitely got better with over time. But nonetheless, Shock T's a pretty cool minifigure, and until we get a new one, I definitely think she's worth every bit of, $70 to $100. Alright guys, next up we have probably the most legendary and probably the main character of Attack of the Clones, that being Coleman Trebor. He came out in the 2013 ATT set, and again, the only time we've ever had Coleman Trebor in a set, and I doubt we'll ever really see him again. I think this was kind of a one-off thing, and very, again, just early 2010 stage, LEGO was really coming out with some pretty cool stuff. And again, Coleman Trebor looks very cool. I really do like all the detail on him. Kind of has a little extra, flair to him compared to Shock T. And he's going for about $70 used also, and about $80 new. So basically right on the money with Shock T. Basically, the exact same price, which he definitely kind of shot up over the years. Realistically, he's a pretty irrelevant character. He's definitely not the main character, but so for a while there, he was going pretty low, not really too high up on the price chart. But, yeah, right now, all of a sudden, just like with really every single LEGO Star Wars minifigure, he's, really shot up to kind of that, that almost $100 mark, honestly, for a new one, and, roughly $70 to $80 for a used one. Moving on to another classic episode 2 Jedi, we have Jedi Bob, also just known as the Jedi Knight from the 2002 Republic gunship, and right now, same example. This guy has absolutely blown up in price, because I personally bought mine last year, about this time. I think it was maybe like last year, June, and I paid $75 for a brand new condition one. And right now, guys, the market for him is roughly $110 used and almost $200 new. Realistically maybe at $180, $190, but there's only a few sellers at that price. But nonetheless, he's basically a $200 brand new minifigure, and it just goes to show that within a year, he really basically doubled his price and realistically almost tripled his price. And nonetheless, I'm very excited. I got one for $75, and there's that one, guys. Let's move on to the next one. Next up, guys, we have the Old Republic Jedi Knight from the 2013 Jedi Defender class cruiser, and this one right here, I have really no clue why he's worth so much. And another example, this guy was not worth that much too long ago, because I remember, okay, for a long while there, I would kind of keep up with the prices of minifigures, and all of a sudden I was in an Instagram live auction. I'm not going to say who it was, but I was in an Instagram live auction, and literally out of nowhere, I'm just sitting there, I'm watching it, he puts this one up, and it goes for like over $100. And at first I'm like, all right, what's going on here? I know these auctions, usually fetch a premium price depending on the seller, but I looked at it later, and literally, even a couple months ago, 6 months ago, this minifigure was up to $100, and right now, guys, he's about $120 used and roughly $150 new. So out of nowhere, I'm really not too sure why this guy is worth that much, but the other Jedi that came out in the set is not worth that much at all. It's only like a $50 minifigure. I'm not too sure what the difference is. Again, you could argue that this minifigure is based off the Jedi in the Old Republic cinematic trailers. I guess so, but it's not confirmed that. It doesn't. It's not called that. The official name is not that. And even then, that the Jedi from the cinematic trailers, as cool as he was, he did die in that trailer, and he's not really ever been shown anywhere else, and I don't even think really canon right now, right? But yeah, nonetheless, guys, there's that. Alright guys, moving on to number 6, we have the most expensive one here. I like throwing these guys in the middle. We have the OG Cloud City Luke Skywalker. So, came out in the 2003 Cloud City set, of course, and just like all those minifigures, this one is definitely up in price right now. And, again, for a good condition used one, I don't count cracked ones, I don't count damaged ones. So, for a solid used condition Luke Skywalker minifigure from that set, you'll be paying every bit of about $450 used to about $800 new right here. So yeah, nonetheless, guys, that's definitely pretty remarkable, and it's one of those things where realistically, I think in the grand scheme of things, you're probably better off trying to find a better deal on just getting the entire set, complete with all the minifigures, rather than paying these extreme prices, for these individual minifigures. Because as we know, Cloud City Boba Fett up to like $2,000 himself, Luke, $500 himself, and like overall, like you'll be paying almost like $3,500 for all, if not even $4,000 at this point for these minifigures. And I definitely think there's an easier way to get the complete set if you find the right seller. But nonetheless, guys, there's number 6, and let's move on to number 5. All right, guys, moving on to number 5. I know I've discussed this one before on the channel, but I wanted to kind of put this one in here. Kind of correlates with Tales of the Jedi. And for anyone that does not know the market price over yet, we have the old Ahsoka right here from the Rebel series. Right now, she's going for about $200 used and about $350 new. So not too much of a price difference in her. Again, once you kind of start getting up in those high price tiers, it's kind of hard to really see an extreme difference in such a short amount of time, because realistically, again, like she is selling for that price, but as how many people are buying her at that price? You know what I mean? Like all it takes is just 1 or 2 people to buy her at that price, but there's still going to be more sellers of her compared to some of these cheaper minifigures. It's a lot easier for people to justify say spending $50 on a minifigure, which in turn might make that minifigure $100 pretty soon, compared to say the old Ahsoka, where already $200 to $300. There's only going to be so many people that can afford her, let alone just want to spend that money on her. So I think she's going to probably settle around this price for a while. And as I've said before, I think I have a pretty good feeling that for the Ahsoka TV show, granted it'll look way different. 2 reasons. It's as she's an older Ahsoka, in the Mandalorian, or I mean in the Ahsoka TV show, and technically then it'll be a live action Ahsoka compared to an animated Ahsoka. So she's gonna look way different, but the actual concept of an old Ahsoka, will come into play. And I don't really think the Rebels one will go down in value too much, but I definitely think it's gonna halt her on the the sell-through race. So there's that, guys. Well, let's move on to the next one. Alright, guys, coming down to the last 4 right here, these all kind of share the same pattern of being live-action Jedi, and in my opinion, some of the best Jedi that LEGO's ever made. So, number 4, guys, we have Agent Kohler right here. Came out in the 2012 Palpatine's Arrest, and that minifigure selection of that set is stacked. I'll throw up a picture right here, but literally every minifigure in that set is just beautiful. I think that's one of the best sets they've ever made, and a very underrated set at the time, and now you're kind of paying the price for it. That entire set there is like $500 sealed, I'm pretty sure. But nonetheless, guys, Agent Kohler himself, the most expensive minifigure out of that set, you'll be paying about $120 used and about $150 new right there. So very crazy. It was a $90 retail set, and then you look at it 10 years later, just that minifigure alone is almost worth double the retail price of the set. So, and Agent Kohler is not really too much of a main character. He was showing up in that scene, and that's basically it. I don't even believe he was shown in the Clone Wars at all, because that was Eth Koth that was in the Clone Wars, which is the same species as him, but it's not Agent Kohler, in the Clone Wars. So unless I'm wrong with that, correct me down below if I'm wrong, but nonetheless, pretty cool minifigure. This was kind of, right before they started doing really crazy prints on, Jedi minifigures, but, still nonetheless a very, accurate minifigure, I feel. Definitely lacking a little bit of printing, but, nonetheless a very cool minifigure, and the only, Agent Kohler we ever had. So, for the moment, that's the price we got to pay. Alright, guys, so moving on to number 3, which actually 3 and 2 actually both take place in the same set. Number 3, we have the Luminara Unduli from the Episode 3 Turbo Tank back in 2016. And this one right here, guys, again, another beautiful live-action representation of a Jedi. This one, definitely fits all the bullet points, leg printing, beautiful printing all around. And nonetheless, definitely, of course, the best Luminara we ever had. And in that turn, guys, we'll be paying about $90 used and about $120 new. So another example of just as crazy how, that set, I'm pretty sure retail for $90. I think anywhere from $90 to $110. And just between Luminara already being the value of that set, and then including, guys, the number 2 spot right here, which also came out in the same set, we have the Episode 3 Quinlan Vos, which again, just superior to the Clone Wars version. Printing's better, just kind of accuracy's better, and overall just kind of color palette is better. And Quinlan Vos here is about $75 used and roughly $100 to $110 new. So, almost the same price for both of them. And it's just crazy to think that, just two Jedi out of that set is literally worth, double the retail set in only 6 years. So, it's definitely crazy to see what the LEGO Star Wars market can do. Plus, I definitely think Luminara and Quinlan are both, beautiful minifigures. And for what it's worth, I think, paying roughly, $90 to $100 for them could be justifiable to some people. But let's move on to number 1, guys. All right, guys, so moving on to number 1, we actually have the cheapest one on the list right here. But I kind of want to just throw this one in here because I just wanted to show you guys that, these live-action Episode 3 representations of these Jedi are, first off, beautiful and also fetching a pretty good price. We have the 27 2017 Ayla Secura right here. And, you know, she's, again, not the most expensive minifigure ever, but going for about $35 used and about $45 new. So, you know, definitely a pretty fair penny for only a 5-year-old minifigure, you know, that came out in a cheap little $25 set. You know, like I said, for most of these other sets, you know, just think about it. You know, you say, you know, got that set for 25 bucks or even on sale, you know, so for like $20. And, you know, this Ayla Secura herself is worth double the retail price. And, like I said, you know, I'll be the first one to say I like all the Clone Wars minifigures. I do. I'm not in the boat of hating any of those minifigures. I think it fits the time era they were in. I think it fits the animation style. And I think all the Clone Wars minifigures look good for what they are. But I will be the first one to say that, you know, these live action variants are, you know, definitely probably superior for a display piece and for kind of like premium adult collectors. But it's also, you know, you are comparing a Clone Wars, you know, kid-orientated animated show versus, you know, live action episode 3, which in turn you would assume the episode 3 versions would look better. And nonetheless, guys, that's the entire list. So let's close off the video. Alright guys, so as always, there's the list. I wanted to make this video in honor of Tales of the Jedi coming out tonight. I'm pretty excited. You know, it's only about an hour worth of content though, which kind of sucks. But, you know, I will be having a Tales of the Jedi set idea video coming out tomorrow, so if you guys are excited for that, definitely stay tuned. And nonetheless, guys, leave your thoughts down below. What's your favorite Jedi in this list? Did I miss any cool Jedi? I think I pretty much, you know, went over all the basics. Like I said, I don't really like covering the same minifigure twice. You know, very few of them I do, you know, based off all these series, so I really have to kind of work around when will I be saying, you know, these minifigures in different videos. The only one, you know, today would be Old Ahsoka, but like I said, I think that kind of fit for this video, you know, for Tales of the Jedi purposes, and you know, definitely kind of an interesting one there. So nonetheless, guys, there's this video. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Check out yesterday's video too if you guys want to win a free UCS Razor Crest. And with all that being said, guys, that's all for this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for you guys later. Bye, guys, and stay safe.